Hey guys, and welcome. Vampire Count players rejoice, we're getting yet another Vampire Count game. I had so many good Vampire Count replays to choose from. It's been pretty tough, but today we're going to be watching the King of Atolia of Clan DBD, aka Captellus, take on CB's very own Voin S as the Vampire Counts get that matchup against the Skaven. Skaven been looking for a bit of a rematch for quite some time since my latest replay. They've come back for a vengeance. Are they going to get what they want, or are they not going to get? That's what the big question is today. So let's delve into these builds and see how it goes. On the left-hand side, we have double Black Knights for the forces of the Vampire Counts, and on the right-hand side, we have a single unit, but it is also escorted by the Dire Pack, Regiment of Renowned Direwolves with Anti-Large, and another unit of Direwolves as well. Front line is some slow, ponderous zombies who unfortunately have been wrenched from their peaceful afterlife to fight for the forces of evil one more time. They're backed up as well by Grave Guard dotted all the way along, mixture of the basic units on the flanks and the great weapons in the center. We then have a triple Corpse Cart Gambit. We have an Unholy Lodestone on either flank, and in the center we have a basic Corpse Cart, and once again we have Vlad von Karstein in the center, an absolute Chad and a noseless villain. Very Voldemort-esque of him. Vlad's coming in with the Gaze Nagash, Invocation Heck, Raised Dead, and all the other good goodies. We then have the double White King as well, which certainly can be rather lovely. The forces of Skaven have actually gone for quite a tight defensive build this time, and it's rather an interesting build indeed. It's going to be quite hard to protect the central pocket, but it's not a super huge investment. We just have the two range units today. We have the Teeth Breakers, the Regiment of Renowned Rattling Gunners, and some Poison Wing Globadiers as well. Then we have a load of Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves making up the front line. Majority are going to be Skaven Slaves. Clan Rats taking the shield walls on the flanks, with Council Guard in the very back as well, backed up by double Rat Ogres. The main punch, though, is going to come in the monsters and characters of this build. Down in the low ground, we have a lowly assassin coming in with all of the goodies, including Rival High Talisman, which is very good. On the left-hand side, with a creature of absolute evil and disgusting nature, the Thing, the Regiment of Renowned Hell Pit Abomination, looking brutal and disgusting as always. The little rats on top of his head having a whale of a time reveling in the chaos that is about to be revealed. We also have a Plague Priest on the left-hand side and a Greyseer on the right. You don't often get to see these two bad boys rocking it together, but it's very cool. Greyseer having a far better time than the lowly Plague Priest, but hey, he's full of pestilence. It's kind of his job to be miserable. He's coming in with the Vermintide as well as Pestilent Breath. The Greyseer himself is going to be coming in with the Unholy Clamour, the dreaded 13th spell, Warp Lightning, as well as Howling Warp Gale and the Warpstone Scroll. So plenty of magic on display here for the Skaven forces. Without further ado, let's get this battle underway as the Vampire Counts shall be moving up patiently whilst also surrounding the enemy on the flanks with their cavalry, trying to get everything in position so they can collapse on this formation as quickly as possible. White King comes in with an early use of his ability there. Not actually doing that much damage. It kind of caught the Skaven Slaves. And it looks like the second one, that is a much better cast. Look at the damage done to those Clan Rats. That is some pretty devastating work indeed. Concealment Bombs has gone down on the Teeth Breakers, but I think we all know they're here. Big Fat Gaze Nagash is going to go in and do basically zero damage there to the Greyseer. His magical aura helping protect him. We have some zombies coming in to shut down the Teeth Breakers. That's certainly going to keep them busy while the rest of the Vampire Count forces do move up and look for that big fat surround. The Thing does move in to try to rip the zombies apart as quickly as possible, but the Teeth Breakers are having to leg it instantly. Assassin is also bundling in, and now the zombie hordes are starting to make contact with the Skaven Slaves. It's going to be certainly hard for the Skaven to actually hold that frontal position. Council Guard in the back are looking to support, and we are about to see the dreaded 13th spell come in perhaps. I can hear the bells tolling, and that normally means they are being summoned. Big Fat Scorch goes down the line on the zombies, doing some pretty decent damage there. The Grave Guard are now engaged with the Clan Rats in the front, looking to carve them to pieces. And we do get a summon, but it is only the Clan Rats. No dreaded 13th spell there, unfortunately. In the back line has held relatively well. Council Guard are starting to try to defend the Teeth Breakers, but look at this collapse in the back. Black Knights plus the Dire Pack leading the Direwolves, devouring the back line, which is really bad news for the Skavens. That's a lot of their punch. Black Knights combined with zombies are actually dragging apart Rat Ogres as well. If they can break them, they can chase them and force them off the battlefield for good. Teeth Breakers are also going down, and his fins are looking very, very bleak for the Skaven at the moment. We're about to see a big old spell come down here, however, and it is The dreaded 13th storm vermin are spawned into the realms of man once more, looking to carve their way through the enemy. And they are supported by the mighty Hellpit Abomination, who currently has a Skaven brew on him, whipping his melee attack up to an impressive 97 as he goes after the characters. The storm vermin as well, looking to support. Plague Priest is looking a little worse for wear. White Kings are having a great time, as you would expect, and the Poison Globadiers are really starting to struggle quite a bit here. We're going to see yet another summon come down, probably clan rats here, just to try to tie up the enemy even more. The storm vermin need to get moving a little bit. They're trying to surround the corpse cart, but they're only fighting on one front. They need to force path their way a little bit further through so they can get that nice, big, fat, juicy surround here. It's a very crazy and hectic game so far. We can see some warp lightning is spawned into the realm, dragged down upon the grave god, and the zombies eviscerating them in a cloud of blood, rotting flesh, and warp fire. Corpse carts can move in. Looks like one is going to be going down. The assassin has managed to get to grips with it there rather nicely. Grave Guard are starting to move in, and the Dire Pack looking to sweep upon the Poison Globadiers. Did check themselves a little bit there as they see the mighty Hellpit Abomination could be causing them some problems, and Vlad is currently getting a bit bullied, which certainly isn't good news for him. So he does summon some zombies to try to finish off the Poison Wind while he attempts to go toe-to-toe with the Thing, who has injected itself with some glorious fluids to make it even more hyped up, roided, and powerful. The White King is certainly no joke, and they have forced back the Assassin here. They can then start to do some work on this Plague Priest and Grace here, and the majority of the Skaven forces have been dealt with. We can see in the distance Black Knights are shutting down the Teeth Breakers on the left-hand side. All around the battlefield, Wolves and Knights are running down Skaven who are fleeing for their life. Luckily, though, for the Skaven, we still have the Council Guard here in the center, fighting alongside their big heavy hitters in the form of their characters as well as their big scary monster. Black Knights do come with a surround. The Hell Pit does also get a big debuff popped to it, minus 40 melee attack. It's going to be quite painful indeed. It still will hurt when it hits, but it's going to be hitting far less often. And the Mighty Grace here and the Plague Priest are going to have to kill a lot of chaff here to drag down the enemy, but it's certainly not game over yet. We have yet another summon come down here. Looks like a zombie summon who are surrounding the Council Guard, attempting to drag them down. The White Kings are a big problem as well, but the Assassin has been able to actually isolate one of them. This is definitely what the Skaven player needs to do. He's popped Slippery. He has his mighty blades there. Look at him hack and slice at the White King, who has an Assassin's Trophy popped on him. He needs to try and pull those inseparable White Kings apart and really bully one on its own. And you can see that's just what's happening. Invocation Head goes down on the other one, but it doesn't matter for the Skaven. If you get one off the field, that's half their damage output completely gone. In Fluid Injection does go down on the mighty Hell Pit. It is going absolutely berserk right now in a juicy rampage. Going after the White King as well, who does currently have Invocation Heck topping him up, though. A big problem is going to be these Grave Guard. There's 83 Grave Guard on the left, 83 here in the middle. That's a lot of scary infantry for the Skaven to attempt to take down, but this is a good way back into it. A big fat Scorch comes down the line. That does damage. It certainly adds up over time. Black Knights, however, are returning from their wild hunt in the distance to hunt down a lot of these Skaven forces, looking to move in and surround and destroy the enemy where possible. Now, the big Hellpit Abomination's taking quite a lot of work now that Vlad has got his mighty Blood Drinker drawn and is starting to stab and poke as rotting fluids and flesh, as well as probably a lot of puke, is spewing out on him. But he's a vampire. This is what he lives for. He loves the death. He loves the carnage. It does look like things getting very danger low. Likewise is this pesky Assassin and the Council Guard, who are currently dueling the Grave Guard and not coming off too well. The Black Knights do need to rotate around a little bit, perhaps, to try to pin in and get some nice surrounds going, although they are being used to hunt down clan rats in the distance. We also have a Corpse Cart vibing on the right-hand flank there. The White King's really trying its best, but it has currently been outmatched. We do also have another Skaven summon come down to try to surround and drag down the Grave Guard. This Assassin just does not want to die. Down to 800 HP. He's been wavering for quite some time, but he may well take the head off this White King in his last death blow. Both of them getting horribly low right now. This is a fight for the ages. The Skaven does decide to run away. Looks like he probably is going to get out of there, but he does manage to kill one of the White Kings, which is absolutely huge. In comes the Corpse Cart now, the Unholy Lodestone. The Dire Pack are also returning, and they are anti-large, which could prove massive at taking down the mighty characters as well as the big old scary monster here. One White King still draws breath, and he's going to be hunting down that Plague Priest to the best of his possibilities. And this is a real flustercluck of a fight now. Vlad von Carstein's basically at his healing cap. He's been fighting the goddamn thing the entire day and still can't kill it. Surrounded by the Dire Pack does leave it in dire straits, but we have yet another Scorch. That does some pretty awesome damage to to the dire pack, and it's going to start to make them crumble, so they're having to desperately fall back, reassess themselves, and come in for yet another charge. Black Knights have been able to surround the mighty Hell Pit, but they're still not able to kill it. It is holding on, and it looks like it has no health, right? But it starts with so much that it can be a bit deceiving. It still has 1,300 HP. They just take about 1,000 damage, though, from some successive hits from Vlad von Karstein. Black Knights do charge in onto the Council Guard, doing good work. The Grey Seer, as well as the Plague Priest, continue to fight. Unfortunately, we have some Black Knights just dying in the distance as they start to crumble. It looks like they were attempting to calm themselves and bring themselves back to their attunage to magic and keep themselves alive. The Thin does seem like he's going down here. He does pop the fluid injection once more. He's barely clinging on for dear life. It's been like quite low HP for a while, up to over 100 kills. Vlad von Karstein is starting to struggle, and the balance of power has actually gone back even now. The Skaven certainly scrapping their way back into this game after some early losses due to the good collapse play from the Vampire Counts. Now, Vlad is trying to duel the Grey Seer man-to-man, enemy combatant to enemy combatant. We do get a big gaze and a gash. Goes into the flank of the Hell Pit, and it does fall. As it falls, though, it looks like some Skaven slaves are spawned from its belly, that they are dealt with relatively quickly by the White King. Vlad could well be assassinated here, as the Grey Seer is going in for the kill, and the balance of power for the first time in the game is in favor of the mighty Skaven. However, with a Karstein ring going down, 60% damage resistance is huge, and he might be able to snipe the Grey Seer here, particularly if he gets distracted by all the zombies. Now it looks like it's just what's happening. The White King is running alongside the Plague Priest here, both of them trying to charge in to this fateful duel. Unfortunately, in the distance, you can see the Council Guard and the Skaven slaves will be dragging down that corpse cart. We do get a big fat scorch going down. It was overcast, which is very risky because it was a miscast there. Grey Seer taking some considerable damage just to clear out the zombies. Vlad is down to 564 HP, trying his hardest to drag down the enemy leader. White King is also charging in. It is hero v hero, lord v lord, summon v summon. It is all going down here in the ultimate fight. Vlad still has his 500 HP. The Grey Seer down just to 82 now after taking a big hit, and is certainly looking to run away. Can Vlad snatch victory here from the jaws of defeat? The White King having a less good time up against the Plague Priest, who is running him down, forcing him into the dirt, and then rolling over his skull with a sickening crunch sound being brought forth. Now, the Grey Seer does look like he's going to be running for his life, although it does look like Vlad is barely holding on. His leadership is not looking too good whatsoever. Does he have a summon in the back pocket? He can outlast the Clan Rat summon here by continuing to chase the Grey Seer, drop a summon down on the Council Guard to get rid of them, and then go toe-to-toe the Plague Priest perhaps. But it is going to be rather important to chase off this Grey Seer and force him off the edge of the battle. He has a long way to chase him, however, and the Grey Seer is a -12 leadership. There is a chance he will come back if Vlad does stop the chase, so he's going to continue to hunt as much as possible. It does look like the summon has dropped dead. Look at all of the rats dying in one foul moment. Council Guard, only 8 models, will continue to fight to the death, and they'll need to protect this Plague Priest, who's currently up to 202 kills. Very impressive work there. I'm just going to fast forward this bit, as you can see, it's going to be pretty standard stuff. The Vampire Count player chasing off the Skaven Lord there. We do see the Plague Priest, though, probably has some magic left, so a summon could be rather useful. Council Guard will continue to fight, and Vlad is 1 or 2 good hits from completely crumbling into dust. But here we go, the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny. This can only go one way, and that way is for the forces of evil. Both these guys cackling, scrapping it out for dominance of these realms, so there won't be many survivors for either of them. Vlad does raise his sword in and instantly decapitates 2 Storm Vermin on the charge. He pops the Karstein Rin, giving him that 60% damage resistance, which is absolutely massive. The Plague Priest is going to fall back. He does have the big debuff going down on it, -40 melee attack. Definitely wants to try to wait that out, or perhaps do some cycle charging. Vlad goes headlong in, but gets shoved to the ground. Plague Priest grinding its wheels there, which is spiked, which isn't too nice, and then runs over Vlad, continuing to push him around a little bit. He is still on the, however, 453 HP. Probably just wants to kill the Council Guard, get rid of them, kill all of the Plague Priest's friends, and then finish it off for good. But it looks like it's terrified, running away, and Vlad does indeed cause terror, as you would probably expect, because this is Terror out him. But it is a change that happened to him at some point along the line. He originally only caused fear. He is starting to crumble, though, which is really bad news. He doesn't even have a time for Invocation of Heck. He needs some kind of summon to come down just to help him out and let him know that there are friends nearby, because he's starting to crumble pretty bad, down to just 289 HP. He's going to slash a load more Council Guard members to the death. There's only 2 left on them. That does improve his leadership. Being in the fight, he's like, oh, I can actually win this now. Plague Priest, once again, is going to charge him back. 710 HP on the Plague Priest. Only 230 on Vlad. He needs that summon, and he needs it now. He did pop Arcane Conduit, but it looks like he gets absolutely pummeled and impaled by the Plague Priest, who barely hangs on with 1 and 2 guards left. That game was ridiculously close. Well played to the mighty King of Atolia, aka the legendary Captellus, as well as Voin there, or Voins, or Voin S, the big capital there, doing rather well after some real initial kind of, not mishaps, but just good play by the King of Atolia to surround him and collapse upon him. The ranged units didn't get too much work done, though the Poison Globadiers seem to do still relatively okay. The Teethbreakers got absolutely slaughtered, but the thing was a nightmare. 3,000 damage value and 108 kills. That is the good stuff. I'm sure the Plague Priest, the Grey Seer, the Assassin, and Vlad also all got pretty ridiculous damage value, but I'll check that out in just a second. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought. Bucket ton of links in the description to my Twitch, my Discord, all loads of awesome stuff down there. The Discord is where you can submit replays, just like the King of Atolia did here today, to get cast on the channel. Get involved in live streams and events that I host. I'm currently home for Christmas, so yeah, I won't be doing any live streams for about a week, but, you know, I'll be back and doing live streams in the new year, and probably a little bit before, actually, as well. So hopefully it'll only be like a week or a week and a half with no live streams. There still will be videos, though I'm working hard to try and get them all done in advance. Well played to these guys once again. Very awesome by Captellus as well to send in this replay. Not that many people send in valiant defeats. If you guys have any awesome defeats, do send them in. You have a much higher chance of being cast on the channels. I like to mix it up, have some people losing, some people winning, but it's kind of hard to see, you know, hard for the audience, you guys watching, to see who's actually going to win these games. Let's go through the Skaven first, because there's going to be some... Actually, let's go through Vlad and then the Skaven. So Vlad got 3,646 damage value, really bringing the pain to the Skaven. They have some awesome damage work. As for the Grey Seer, did he stand up to him? Well, 180 kills is not shabby whatsoever. Neither is 2,249 value. 769 for the Assassin, 29 kills. Did a good job, though, isolating the White Kings for a while. And the mighty Plague Priest, 202 kills, 3,167 damage value. This fight was all about the heroes and the monsters, and I guess we can give the Council Guard a little bit of a pat on the head as well. They did very good. The Skaven slaves died in their droves, doing basically nothing. They could barely even hold back the enemy to protect the Poison Wing Globadiers, who for once in their life didn't actually pay for themselves, at least not quite. Still got 67 kills, and the Teethbreakers also went down quickly. Likewise, the Rat Ogres did not have a good day, so it kind of came down to the Council Guard being that anchor for the heroes and the monster. 293 kills, 2,119 damage value, over 25k damage dealt. Beautiful play there by the Council Guard, loyal to the end. And the thing getting 3,000 value and 108 kills really is kind of the cherry on top of that battle. As for the King of Atolia, aka Captellus himself, Vlad von Carstein, 3.6k damage value is not bad whatsoever. White Kings fared a bit worse, 1,000 value and 760. Zombies didn't do too much, of course. They just get in there and scare their opponents, get nice up in their face, and they're more of an introduction to the Graveguard, who got 102, 75, 141, and 55 kills. 420, 480, 500, and 470 damage value. The Black Knights did good, though. 980 value of 69 kills. Bow chicka bow wow. 826 damage value and 700 kills, 62 and 87 apiece. The Direwolves did a decent job, 300 value and 1.2 with 106 kills for the Dire Pack, hunting down a lot of those broken Skaven units. Really good, diligent play there, coming in by the Counts. Unfortunately, of course, Corpse Carts more here to support than get any value. Between them, they got, what, 2 value, 22 and 8, so 32 damage value doesn't exactly seem very crazy, but they're more here to support and buff the other units. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a good fun cast. Until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.